first map we ran was Righteous. Confused was Witch Hunter Captain, Sister, IB, and Merc. The logic was basically that IB with Trollhammer would be able to solo the first event pretty easily. Sister is, even after all the nerfs she did, she still turned out to be the best career in the game. And that's why we included her in all the comps. Just brings great boss damage, decent special sniping, decent elite damage, and very nice passive. Just all around great stuff. And the Merc was there, so the IB could keep blasting even while we were taking damage. And then the Witch Hunter Captain was just a decent pick to help with boss bursting and dealing with elites and some extra special sniping. And the build was just the basic build, except I ran crit and headshot instead of leave. The rest is just the usual stuff you would expect from Witch Hunter Captain on E3 Dawns and above. Yeah, at the start we were just gonna push to the small, or to the alley at the other side. So at the start we just make base for that and clear ambience as we go. Yeah, main focus is on moving and not killing everything. That comes once you reach this spot, then you actually clean up. And you just clear out some more ambience, waiting for first horde to arrive while pulling the ambience we can. And yeah, basically I'm frontlining, trying to stand forward as much as I can when I'm on high HP. And once I start taking damage, I usually fall back a little bit and use the range from Billhook to keep it safe. And yeah, just click heads after you press F. It's the most important part of it. Then about general Billhook gameplay is mostly gonna be push tabs into mixed hordes. And mix in some lights if you run out of ammo. That was a bad shot, but I got lucky. I got a crit on the body shot. Yeah, and on the use of the ult, it kind of depends. But like, for example, there were 3 maulers there, but there wasn't too much help, and all 4 of us were near, so no point in using it there. Here there's like 4 maulers and more ambience over there, so it's more worth it to use it at that point. And yeah, if you're just fighting elites, you just want to do heavy spam and maybe mix in a hook if you want the safety. And yeah, we don't want to push too hard here because we haven't had a trigger yet. And Havoc dies, dumbass. Basically more frontlining. Trying to spot blind, didn't get the headshot. Fortunate. Yeah, and if there's Chaos Warriors in the horde, I try to focus them. Even while ignoring DPS on the other stuff. I'm a bit slow at the start with the aim. Still need to warm up, it's gonna be my excuse. I've cleared waves, now we push for trigger slash stopping spacing while checking for the few item spots that are on this side. And I find a heal. When is QQ heavy 1 spam word? Mostly against bosses. Otherwise, I don't think it's really worth it. And I got the off there. Yeah, I wouldn't use QQ1 spam in other situations. Like, you could argue that if your headshots are good, it's optimal against just elites when you're clearing up singular elites. But I don't think it's worth the effort, and you're better off using your brain power for other stuff, so to say. Yeah, and there I got didn't spot the hook in time. Now we're just fighting horde down here again because we don't want to push into trigger with horde up. Especially this trigger, since you can stop pacing soon afterward. So definitely the best to finish off the horde and then push into the double facing. And then we decide to fight the troll in the courtyard because we stopped pacing already and no need to pull extra ambience while fighting the troll. If all four of us get on him, then we can just burst him pretty fast. And yeah, here's when I QQ the heavy because it's easy to get headshots on the stationary boss. And it's the biggest DPS increase against monster. Yeah, this is a pretty easy cleanup since there's really intercepting the poking him in the ass. So for this event, it's basically gonna be just the IB starts blasting. Usually at it works out. Block canceling? It's not worth it to block cancel compared to just doing heavies. Against monsters, it might be slightly better to do block cancels if your headshots are 100%, but if you can't QQ, then you're just better off doing. Yeah, so I try to fight the stuff to the side, so it doesn't spill in bus too much, and IB has more space. Just blast. And it also gives me better angles for specials. And once the wave drops in, I try to stay inside a bit more, because if I stay outside while wave is spawning, they will drop on me, and we'll have and I'll just get fucked. There I used Fervency to clean up monks, since they can be obnoxious when you're trying to guide. And we're communicating to try to figure out who has boss aggro, because that person should stay behind. And here Rob uses ult to give Cap out of space so he can grab new ammo, so he can start blasting again. And I'm here on the outside again, trying to stop stuff from getting to them, but also the waves stop spawning. So then it's usually better to split up a bit, so you can ambience. Or the horde wave that's left over. Yeah, it was a pretty clean event, but yeah, it's pretty free with IB with a Trollhammer. And if the main problem people have in that event is either just getting boxed in by the spawns because they're moving way too slowly, or not managing boss aggro properly and the boss heading past them and them getting fucked because of it. I have fervency up, so I'm focusing on the non-chaos warrior elites because I can burst them better with fervency up. If I wouldn't have fervency up there, I would have focused the kill. Yeah, if you'd an IB is Trollhammer, him constantly then managing the Trigon isn't that hard? Or the boss aggro. Here we push and we see a bunch of amp spawning around. So then you have to make the decision whether you push against the back, but there weren't that many of you, so we can just push front. Just checking stuff out. Once that wave starts spawning, we group to the nearest decent hold spot, which is at the back end over here. Ideally, we would be up top, but we were too slow while moving through. Since I'm main specials and elite, or not, I'm not main special sniper, I'm main elite clear and secondary special sniper. So usually I try to focus elites and only snipe specials if they're really annoying or if most of the elites are already cleared. Otherwise I would leave it to like Rob and Havoc to do the specials when there's still elites up that need to be. Yeah, more pacing. And looking up so I don't explode the barrel. Very. And Havoc died too. I know I'm about to eat an overhead. Oh no. Coming. Yeah, double push into crossbow headshot is pretty. There. Oof. Dodged into an overhead from someone else. Yikes. And then the double hook. I didn't see. Yeah. We were fighting in a pretty bad spot there. We should have pushed into the room sooner. But it worked. But I guess we were a bit unsure because there was still a trigger coming up. Yeah, we're waiting on a patrol. Let's just trash shot. Focus on. So the only patrol trigger we have left is the one at the very end. So we know if we push hard, we can just run past them. And specials are ambience are pretty light, so we can just do it. If we had a different patrol, like earlier, we would have fallen back and dodged them some other way. But this is pretty straightforward. Yeah, just here, try to get headshots. That would be. No elites up, so I can focus on sniping. I stood way too far forward there. I should not have pushed into the horde that much. It didn't give me any options after I got pushed around by the monk while the hook was coming. And yeah, front is clear, so we can drop in. Since most of the ambience will already have been pulled by the wave, and just make more. Bunch of elites up. Focus them. So there's also special. And yeah, this area is a bit iffy for assassins, but there weren't any ambience up, so it's whatever. Just beautiful shots here. Would it be different if the attack speed was team-wide? Yes, that would be different. It would be much better. Because it's 10% attack speed. We have a boss trigger coming up here, but it's much later, so we don't need to worry about it too much just yet. Yeah, just carrying another horde inside here. Get to fight. Specials have very few angles. And yeah, just more elites. And boss trigger, we're gonna attempt a ledge here. But hook. Now that he's on the let's finish him off. And then apparently you can just shove him up the cannon and then shove him straight down. Easy game. And now we wanna push through because that area is much nicer to fight in, even if we risk pulling a few ambience. But the problem was I didn't realize how far back they were. I guess because they were going back for ammo. But turned out fine. But it might have been a little risky, seeing how far back half the team. We got a bunch of yeah, just more fighting here, mostly focusing on clearing elites. Yeah, I don't know what to say here. It's just mechanics. Not too much special going on. Big hats, dude. Here we have no trigger, so we can keep pushing aggressively. Especially with Trollhammer that is full ammo. More elites. I didn't know how close the team was, so I just thought I'd get them out of the way. This area can be a little nasty with specials at times, but it's usually fine. And if we're also running into quite a few ambients here, but we have Trollhammer, so it doesn't really matter. Cleaning up. Just using fervency because there's a lot of armor in it. And our armor damage isn't the best. Apart from Trollhammer into clumps. And here I fuck up. And lighter barrel, it's so sad. And while I'm looking away, everybody gets disabled. Very unlucky. But yeah, still fine. And now we get the big Mother Wave coming in. But we have Trollhammer and Fervency coming up, so as long as not everybody gets running attacked at the same time, we should be Gucci. And I mean, with the way they're getting staggered by Trollhammer and getting deleted by Fervency, they didn't even have a chance to start running attacks. Yeah, just pushing into the temple because it stops spacing. Now we can just clean them up in relative peace. I'll just go through that. Zooming. Healing up. Grabbing heals, healing up. Getting started for the event. So our strat for the event is a 3-on-1 split, where the Merc tries to grab as many SV as possible. And he runs them around a bit while we try to finish off the boss in the meantime. The execution wasn't perfect in this run. Yeah, so Havoc has enough on him here, but they just fucking ignore him and run over to us. So we don't want to kill the SV, because if you kill too many SV, then you spawn in the next wave. So here we have to kill the boss while not killing the SV. And Kappa does a pretty good job of keeping aggro from the SV and not letting the boss hit them. And yeah, we're still able to get the necessary DPS in. And I have to heal because there's too much damage coming in. But yeah, we still managed to get the clean up. And then we move to our designated hold spot on the right side of the room. Or left side, depending where you're looking from. Just focusing on the specials here to get them out of the way. And then cleaning up with fervency. So why not? And yeah, this event is pretty trivial once you get the first boss out of the way. I'm trying to get an angle on the fucking Blightstormer here, but the monks are too fast. And I tried to get a preemptive push step in, but I was still in range of the running attack, even while dodging away. Yeah, just cleaning up waves until we get the next boss. We didn't really plan what to do specifically ahead of time with the boss, but usually just either guide him or ignore him if it's a Stormfiend. But I ended up finding a good opportunity just to take him away, and it worked out. So yeah, the Chaos Warrior wave is also the wave where the boss spawns, so you know, if you see Chaos Warriors, then you have to get ready for the boss. And here I managed to grab aggro while everything else was on them, so I could just DPS in peace, and there you can QQ away freely, since you only have to focus on dodge dancing. Okay, 1 Q, very sad. But yeah, I can just focus on DPSing him 100%, and then once the next wave spawns, then it always starts with specials, so I have to just keep an eye out for them. I also got lucky that, again, nothing spawned on my side, but everything spawned on their side, so I can just keep DPSing him. I probably could have used my ult sooner, but I was still trying to spot specials. And here the next wave spawns again, more monks. So I just let the boss slap me away, so I can get some space to DPS monks and boss. And there I misjudge distance and get hit by the running attack. And then after the IB taunts, I can just focus on clearing boss with sister. And then it's just last wave cleanup. Not very exciting stuff. Just the zooming through. And I get the very nice hits in, so I get all the credit for the kills. So yeah, not too many problems on that map. Yeah, the main takeaway is that know your role. If I was a Witcher captain and we had a Grill Knight, then I would have played my target prioritization a bit different in certain situations. Likewise, if we had a Bold Metal Wizard, I would also have played it different. So know what you're best against, and also know what, since Witch Hunter Captain is so well rounded, what you're best against depends heavily on stuff that's in your team. So if there's a much better elite clear, then you can focus more on special sniping or horde clear. So just keep that stuff in mind. Know your role, but also make sure that others know your role, because if the merc gets funny idea and thinks he's the main elite killer, then you'll get nobody sniping specials. So just gotta make sure you're all on the same wavelength.